I've got a good friend called Andrew, and as well as being a top bloke, he's also a long time supporter of my Mystery Models modelling channel, and now he's a supporter of this here channel. In fact, I think he was the first person to actually subscribe to it. And the other day he showed me an image of something. He says, "Have you got this? Do you want this?" And the thing he showed me I hadn't got, and I did want, so he sent it to me. And he also said, "I'll send you some other things as well." And these are the things he sent, with the thing that the topic of today, well, you know what it is, you've seen the title already, that's at the bottom. So the things he sent was the large format collection of the Batman Judge Dredd Die Laughing story, which I don't have in this large format. I've got the individual, comic book size issues, so that's handy to have them all together. And also Judgment on Gotham. Again, I've got the smaller version, not the bigger version, so that's good. And then two things I've never owned, because they are the movie books of these two films, and we will get round to these films at some point in the history of this channel, but not yet. All right, so that's come. But the thing that he asked me did I want is this book, Batman Animated, Paul Dini and Chip Kidd, which I've been aware of over the years, but just never got round to getting. And, it's long gone off the shelves of the like Forbidden Planet or wherever. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of all the animated Batman shows, going back to the very first ones in the early 70s, forwards, all their incarnations, even Brave and the Bold, which came out a few years ago, and then we will no doubt encounter at some point. So very pleased to finally get it. Thank you, Andrew. So I thought today we'll just have a flick through. So if you too haven't got it, well, hopefully this will make you want to go and get it. So I thought it would just be the artwork, but it's very in-depth. There's an awful lot of text about the genesis of the original Batman animated show, how it was greenlit by Warner Brothers. It's not quite a warts and all story, but there is the telling of a few conflicts and little bits of ego getting in the way, little bits of aggro. But yeah, and these are nice, all these portraits done by some of the other creative team who are working on it. I love Bruce Timm's work desk. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of text. It's very in-depth, just showing you, the inspirations. I mean, real-life architecture, of course, the Fleischer Superman cartoons of the 40s, Space Ghost. And yeah, it is the development, it's fascinating, all these different ideas about how they might go about it. What might work, what might not work, all these proposals for what skylines were going to work, these rough chalk pencil ideas. That's a nice shot of some of the creatives, the designs for that opening Warner Brothers logo, the classic now opening sequence, like here, all the storyboards for it. The music for it, that's a great photo there, showing some of the voice artists. So we've got Aaron Kincaid, Killer Croc, Mark Hamill, the Joker, Richard Mole, Two-Face, Paul Williams, the Penguin, Kevin Conroy, Batman, Diane Pershing, Poison Ivy, Arlene Sorkin, Harley Quinn. Brilliant photo. Never seen that before. So much of this I've never seen before. This is really good, really funny. All the censorship issues that they've got with various things. I'll just let you have a look at that, or maybe you want to pause it and have a look. Yeah. just to what degree violence you can have. You can have this, but you can't have that, you know. Nice little parody of the censorship there. Yep, so we'll go through. Very well produced, as you can see, very glossy pages. So yeah, the development of the Batman character. I think this is the very first Bruce Timm sketch he did of Batman before he even knew they were going to do a Batman TV series. It's not that far off what we, excuse me, were finally to get. Lots of ideas for poses. Okay. Apparently this is a really rare toy. It's one of the rarest of the animated animation toys because there was a warehouse fire destroying them all. So yeah, mind you, looking at that, I wouldn't have wanted that. This is the thing with the merchandise, in that I bought some of it, but I was far too old for it, if you see what I mean. Yeah, all this, it was great to see it in the shops, but I don't need a Robin toothbrush, you know, or thermos holder or stuff like that. I'll tell you what I've always regretted, and that is when there was a Warner Brothers shop over at Thurrock, over, well, it's about, how far away? It's about 40-minute drive away. There used to be a Warner Brothers shop, and I got a really smart Batman Superman money box, which I've still got, and a few things, but I wish I'd had the money to get the animation. They had the animation cells for there, you know, they had a little separate art gallery, giving it the respect it deserved. And oh boy, I wish I had had enough money back then. So yeah, more storyboards. We're getting pages devoted to particular characters, spin-off comics, and we're starting to get into tie-ins of comics to it. Excellent. Commissioner Gordon portraits, Montoya, Catwoman. This is very interesting in that they were going to go a certain way with Catwoman and the Penguin, but then Warner Brothers stepped in and they went, no, you've got to tie this into Batman Returns. You've got to make the Catwoman and the Penguin look more like their live action versions. This is a Bruce Timm sketch that he did. He went down while they were making Batman Returns. And this is a sketch he did of Danny DeVito dressed as the Penguin, but he, yeah, cartoonized it somewhat. All right. But yeah, this is what they were after. But Warner Brothers said, no, you're not having it. You've got to tie in with the film. The fantastic Clayface. Love that design. Raz. It is exhaustive. This is interesting. This is the original designs for the Riddler when they were going to go the manic route of the Frank Gorshin type. But then that was kind of nixed because they then had the Riddler depicted as rather cold and calculating and not as hyper as the Frank Gorshins or the Jim Carrey's versions. Man-Bat. Remember that was a fantastic to finally see Man-Bat, you know, on the TV. Mad Hatter. Talking about TV, I don't know about you, but if you're watching this and you're from the UK, my first exposure to the Batman animated series was Saturday morning ITV, and it was stuck inside some god-awful children's show, and they cut it up and they had stupid little intros to it and everything, and it was an endurance to have to sit through that, ready to press record on your video recorder. Now we're getting near the end of Batman the Animated Series. Here we go. We're getting to Mark of the Phantasm, the movie spin-off, but we're getting into, as much as I really enjoy Batman the Animated Series, I prefer what came next, which is when they were somewhat unfettered by Warner Brothers and were allowed to go their own way. And they come up with a whole new redesign and they continued the stories. New look for Batman, new look for Robin. Originally, it was going to be called Batman Gotham Knights, but then that was changed to the New Adventures of Batman, wasn't it? Radical new look for the Joker. Two-Face was pretty much the same. But I loved it. I loved the fact that you've now got, you know, Nightwing would be in it, Batgirl would be in it. Yeah, here's all the different type Joker expressions. Gone to how they wanted the Penguin to be at the beginning. Fantastic Scarecrow. Clayface isn't too different. Poison Ivy is less voluptuous. Should say there's lots of pullouts here, as you can see. Yeah, and this is great. I prefer it over. Some people might consider it heresy, but I prefer it over the original Batman animated series that begat it. And it finishes with this. This is one of my favourite stories, and it's based on a story. Who was the artist? Was it Neil Adams? But it was around about 73, 74, where you've got kids around a campfire. Bruce Wayne's taken some, you know, kids out on a camping trip. Some of these hard done by kids, you know, and they all sit around the campfire telling a story. They've all seen Batman, and you know, and I will review that comic at one point because it is hilarious to see how they see each one, and it's a really good snapshot of how culture was back in the 70s. But it was repurposed for Legends of the Dark Knight, one of the stories. And in that, you've got different versions of Batman and Robin. So, you know, we have Bruce Timm's version of the Dick Sprang version. And then you've got, and I never thought I would see it, but yeah, The Dark Knight Returns, Bruce and Cassie. And it's an actual Saturday morning children's TV take on Batman going up against the mutant leader. Look, some of the panels are exactly taken from the Frank Miller story. And that's how it ends. We end with Bruce Timm's toy shelf. I've got a lot of those. Having said I didn't buy much, I have got like the bubble bath heads. I collected them. And that's pretty much it. We've got an episode guide. And that's how it ends. So, what a stonking book. Thanks again to Andrew for letting me have this for nothing. He didn't even want anything for the postage. So, as I say, top bloke. Thank you, Andrew. One final time. Yeah, if you haven't got this and you're a fan of the animated shows, go on out and find it.